The tanned girl created from Ilya and named Kuro. In the beginning, she kept trying to take Ilya's life, but now she has become a part of Ilya's family. She needs to kiss Ilya to acquire mana, or she will disappear. Hey Ash, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Why does it have to be? I just don't understand. I just don't. I like. Hello and welcome to Soulmates, where we talk about all our favorite little guys and all our favorite little games. I'm Ivy Fox. You can find me at Ivy Fox Art on co-host, and you can find the horror. Nope, that's not what I say. You can find our sister podcast, Together We'll Shine and Oot, a rewatch podcast, on your podcast app of choice. Joining me as always is Ash.
That's a very distressed. This isn't my time to say that. Hi, I'm Ash. You can't find me, but if you feel inclined to try, I invite you to walk into your nearest prairie reserve and sort of dig around in there, and, you'll see what you can get. You can give me money on ko-fi.com/Asherlark, and I also run the show's social media at cohost.org/soul-mates-podcast, and you can support the show at ko-fi.com/ivyfoxart to help us with hosting costs and shit.
Our theme is by Sueños Electrónicos, who you can find on Bandcamp, and our cover art is by Rygarden, who you can find on Instagram. This season, we're talking about the characters from Mahjong Soul by Yostar and Cat Food Studios, a blend of cute, appealing anime girls with classical Japanese Mahjong. In their words, not mine. Hello, Ash.
Hello, Ivy. I don't know why it has to be like that.
Why does it have to be like that is the thing. So, first question of the episode.
Congratulations to nobody on co-host for getting correct the character that we rolled for this, which I think was actually a pretty doable task if you thought about it for a bit.
Our friend Emma guessed that it was Wanjiro, and I was like, do you really think we'd be that upset about Wanjiro? I
think we would have a reaction where I would be really excited. At the very least, and you would be less excited. Famed Wanjiro hater Ivy.
Famed Wanjiro. We'll get there eventually.
Burb guessed. I just checked to look at what Burb guessed, and then I immediately forgot. It's because I've been sent other asks on co-host since then. Kutsuji was what Burb guessed. I don't even know who that is. So I guess I have to check. mahjongsoul.club/characters/sex/women?language =EN.
Who is it? Katsuki? Yaksogi?
Yeah. Yaksogi! This doesn't show me their names. Will you show me their names, please?
If you go to mahjongsoul.club/characters/list/female.
/characters/list? My god.
/female. Uh-huh. Oh, wait, is it Sawako Kitami?
No.
Okay, never mind. That's the mom.
/characters/list/female.
Who... Is it
Kutsuji? Oh, Kutsuji is the IUD necklace guy.
Oh.
You were looking at /list/female, and so you wouldn't know.
I forgot about
You don't know about IUD necklace guy.
I don't. Yeah, I would have a much different reaction to IUD necklace guy. For reasons we don't have to talk about them. But yeah, this is Kuro. I just don't understand, like, why it has to be, like, kind of incesty, you know? Like, I don't understand why we have
Yeah.
to do this. Like, she could just be, like, a demon, who needs mana to live, and so she kisses Ilya to get mana, and, like, this is still a tiny bit weird, but at least it's, like, kind of cute. But instead, she's, like, a spawn of Ilya who calls herself Ilya's younger sister, and then it's weird. And I'm like, why do you have to make
then
it
it's
weird?
My
There's
main
even, like-
problem with Kuro as a concept is just that, like, the tanned girl.
Right. Also, the tanned girl.
The dark-skinned demon born from Ilya? Fucking who gets put in all of the sexiest outfits? On account of being the tanned girl
You know,
demon?
the tanned girl. This is a fascinating translation, and I sort of don't understand why they translated it this way. I mean, I guess I have to assume that it's translated this way because it's, like, somewhat accurate, but also, like, part of the role of the
Surely
translator
not.
is not to just, like, oh, maybe. But part of the role of the translator is not to just, like, make the words be in the other language. It's to, like, it's to, like, do a good job. And, like, make it flow well in the local language and make it not be awful. And I guess they just didn't care. Question
This
mark.
episode of Soulmates is about colorism in East Asia.
Well,
It's... Well...
well,
Well...
well.
Well...
Great. Okay, sorry, I was double checking something. This is annoying to me because of all of the fucking guys in this game. Not in this game. All of the guys in this fucking crossover. Kuro broadly has the design that appeals to me the most. She's, like, got a lot of personality.
Yeah, she's got
kind
so
of
much
fun.
more personality immediately than, like, Miyu. But that's a low bar.
That's a low bar. It's like, being a demon girl is fun. Shout out to being a demon girl.
Shout out to
It
being
would
a
suck
demon
if
girl.
it didn't suck, but, there's something there that is appealing. And then they just have to do a very bad job with it. And I'm like, well, okay.
Well,
That's fine.
I have learned, not
Also,
only from Mahjong Soul...
She does one of my... Oh, okay, sorry, I'll just
We're
let you
just going
finish.
to crosstalk infinitely.
Sounds good.
I have learned not only from Mahjong Soul to expect very little of fate, but just generally to expect very little of fate, which contains all of the worst of sort of, unconscionable, like, trope fan service bullshit.
Here's the thing, is I was talking to a friend recently about, like, my friend mentioned Fate, and me, eternal person who shills our stupid little podcast, was like, oh, me and my friend did a watch-along episode of one of the Fate Ilya movies. You should check it out. And she was like, yeah, Fate Ilya isn't really my jam. And I was like, okay. And maybe I'm starting to understand why. I mean, my limited experience with other Fate things has also not been stellar, but my limited experience with Fate Kaleid Lighter Prisma Ilya has not been stellar.
No.
I also like Kuro. Miyu kind of does fucking nothing, but Kuro actually does some sick shit in the movie.
She does. She has, like, a cool fight scene.
Yeah, she fights fucking Thor and then is like, I mean, that's basically it, but, like, that's cool. why isn't, I still don't understand. It doesn't matter. The crossover isn't actually with that movie. Why did they tell us to watch that movie? I hate them forever. I mean, I'm also very thankful to them, and also I'm very mad. It's very complicated.
They did have 3 women, though.
Very, very, very complicated feelings about fake kaleid, lighter, Prisma Illyia. Licht, the Nameless Girl.
Okay, I was holding my breath.
I ran out of air.
Reasonable. I was running out of air if you didn't finish it. Should we move on to look at her, Kuro's default look?
Yeah, we can look at her. Kuro's default look. Oh wow, she's in the same school outfit. Great.
Wow, we've spoken about the school outfit before.
Wow, we have.
I mean, not that I would ask you ever to go and listen to Ash's Mad, but...
Famously, one of the only episodes of the podcast that Ash has not re-listened to.
No. I would be so mad again.
Also, the people don't know that I edited a bunch of stuff out of that episode, which I don't normally do.
Oh my god, you did?
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
There was a bunch of stuff where we said it and then we backtracked and we were like, hang on, edit that out, actually.
Maybe we'll cut this out. Yeah.
Which is funny because now we've sort of like evolved, and I feel like we're a lot more comfortable just kind of talking about stuff. But even still, we said some very intense things about, the state of how young women are represented in art. And so I feel like you would have minor flashbacks to those things that are unsaid in the final cut.
Dork. I like looking at Kuro.
I do like looking at Kuro. Like, her design is very... First of all, unlike fucking Miyu, she has like a pose, you know? She has a pose and it conveys strong character. She got her hip out and her little hand on her hip, and her other hand is sort of ready to go. I really like, there's some really nice kind of like, on her left side, she has her elbow out, and then on her right side, she has this silly little ponytail out, and this kind of like balances her a little bit in kind of like a fun way. This is like visual design, you know?
It's visual design. I like looking at her eyes. I like that she's got, I guess weird demon eyes. But I'm a fan of sort of yellow eyes in general. I just like to look at them. So I like the colors here. I like how they match, everything that she's got going on. They incidentally match this school uniform, which is very funny to me. I like looking at Kuro. I like her intense eyeliner. Her hair is this kind of slightly pinkish shade all the time, which is nice. Like, she doesn't just have white hair. I feel like she had more just kind of white hair in the movie, but in all of these, she has this like sort of slightly grayish pink, and it's very nice. You're right. I just looked at the way that her bangs are, and I think it's very funny that I guess her little ponytail is made out of the right side of her bangs.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's actually pretty well done. You can, like, see the hair that isn't there.
You can see how it moves. This is necessary if you're going to animate a character, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like her, we can squeeze as much blood from this stone as we like.
Absolutely.
It's our podcast. I feel like her pose is very good from, like, above her knees. And then I kind of don't understand... Hang on, let me try and stand like this. Famous Ivy tries to stand like the image.
Famous segment.
It's okay. I want her to be in, like, a little bit more of a... Not to use, like, a fucking karate term, but, like, a horse stance, you know? I want her stance...
because I never did any kind of martial arts as a kid.
Okay. A horse stance is where it's sort of, like... is where you kind of, like, plant your feet beside your hips, like out beyond your hips, and then point your feet outwards, and it's a very solid stance that is very hard to break. Instead, her feet are very turned inwards, and it makes her look a little unsteady compared to, like, how sort of confident she is up top.
This is a Kagehime stand.
Yeah, they love to make women's feet point at each other, just kind of in
So
general.
you could topple them over with a gentle breeze.
With a gentle breeze. Despite all her confidence, she is but of the female sex, and thus
God.
can be toppled by a simple breeze.
Gross.
Sorry. Those are two of my least favorite words to say in sequence.
Well, you don't just have to lie.
What? What do you mean?
No, don't worry about it. Never mind. You don't like to say the female sex?
Oh, it's a joke about having sex with women. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. No, well, I wouldn't use the word female. It's not.
That's
I don't
fair.
like it.
You're right. Sorry for my failures.
Just like in generally speaking.
Generally speaking, she has a little bit of knee shine, but they can't do the like, you know, bright red and shiny knees, because she's the tanned girl. Fake
Yeah.
kaleid liner Prisma Illyia Licht, the tanned girl.
You know, I don't know. She has character design elements. She has emotion. She has not lost 90% of her original emotion.
She's got him.
There's things here. This is not a terribly unappealing image, at least above the knees.
Yeah. This image
Below the knees gets a little sketchy, but
it's a little sketchy. This image is fine. This is a normal image that I have no problems with.
no, I'm gonna keep pulling blood from this stone. Just
Okay,
try and
go
stop
ahead.
me. I also hang on. Let me just go look at Mio. A perilous task for anyone to do.
God, why would you?
Well, because I want to I feel like she is. Where's Mio? Thank you, Mio. Hello, Mio. Good to see
Why
you
would you
again.
thank her?
Question mark.
It's not.
Oh, clicking. No, they're all like this. Never mind.
Okay, like what?
The thing I was going to say is that she's sort of feels like she's wearing her her like little jacket like a little loosely, and looks a little
Nah,
kind
they're
of
just all like
casual.
this.
No, they're just all like that. Never mind.
You done with the blood? Nope. Okay.
I think that's all the blood I have.
Okay, great.
That's all the blood I can find.
All the blood I can find. This image is tagged with sailor suit, which all of them are tagged with, and loafers, which I think all of them are also tagged with.
Oh, I guess that is I'm looking at all the ones that are tagged sailor suit. It's exclusively.
I also wouldn't immediately describe this as a sailor suit. There
No,
are some of the ones
me
that are tagged
neither.
with this
This
that
is-
are obviously sailor suits, but also
It's
Mihoko Fukuji is there.
that's a sailor suit. She
Oh,
doesn't
I
have
can
a
barely
tie.
see it. Okay,
But
sorry.
if you click on in on it, you can see the blah blah blah. I know it's hard to see on account of her one closed eye. That joke doesn't make any sense. Right, scratch it, scratch.
It's funny though.
Nope.
It's a little hard to see on account of the eye.
I do like that all of the images tagged sailor suit are only the Prisma Ilya and Saki crossover characters. Despite the fact that there are many other characters in this game who are wearing sailor suits.
Wonderful. The tagging system on this wiki is laboriously maintained.
We should apply to apply to be
God.
editors of Mahjong Soul
would.
Club and fix all their tags.
Genuinely, yes.
We
I
should
would.
do this as a charity live stream, fixing all the tags on Mahjong Soul Club.
Well, if you want this, I guess you have to write me on co-host.
I don't know what this
Emotes?
middle tag is because it's not.
I don't know what it is
translated.
either, but it contains
It contains
just a selection
of girls.
of girls with no. Is it the stockings? Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, it's like.
But
knee-high
isn't
stockings.
Ilya also wearing those? Hold on.
And then loafers. Anyway, emotes.
No, Ilya's okay. It must be for the black stockings, but also Saki is wearing those and isn't tagged. Whatever, who cares? Emotes. The
Emotes.
first emote for Kuro on Kuro's default look is just this little wave. Things about this emote, I'm clicking in to look at it more closely because it's kind of freaking me out. No, this is just me having a reaction for no reason. From a distance, the outlines on this looked weirdly green, but I think it's just that they're set against the orange. There's a little orange, half circle background. She's just looking straight at the camera with a small smile and has her hand up with a little action line indicating that she's waving. That's it.
Uh-huh.
That's all there is to it.
I do feel like she kind of looks like a frog.
Is it because they made her even wider and with bigger eyes than she already has?
Yeah, I don't understand why she's so wide in this. She's so wide. And it's not even the width of her face. Her eyes, it's not even that her eyes are so big, it's almost that her eyes are too small compared to the size of her face for a chibi, because it makes it look like her eyes are very far apart so that she can see predators coming from any direction.
She has the eyes of the prey.
Uh-huh.
Fascinating.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Instead of Kuro, they should have named her Karo.
Thank you. Was that the sound of you typing to make sure you were right about that?
We're right about the Japanese word for frog?
Yes.
Maybe I'll never tell.
Okay, well, that's my answer. They do, there's a couple things about the way that they draw her in this chibi style. Well, here's the thing, is that looking at her full emote set, I get the impression that these were done by different artists.
Fascinating. Oh,
there's some of these that I just genuinely look at and are like, this is a different person, this is a different person.
Uh-huh. One thing I meant to do before this episode, and then I didn't because I'm very tired today, I meant to actually go into Mahjong Soul and look at the credits and see if I could, suss out who makes these emotes. Maybe I can sort of, do that in the background.
Yeah. That seems like a normal thing to be able to do while doing this podcast, where you look at a visual and analyze it.
I do so many things while doing the podcast. I'm always opening up little reference
I'm currently doing
things.
nonograms while doing the podcast, so
I'm always looking up little references and stuff. I'm looking up the Japanese.
You're
word
doing
for
productive things.
frog.
I have a little game on my phone.
Let's.
I take this very seriously, but I need to be enriched at all times.
Maximally.
But compared to emote 4, the 5th emote, I'm just looking at the way the eyes are drawn. I was noted that her eyes were going to be... I was going to note that her eyes are, weirdly dilated here. But also, just that other emote looks like they're closer together. They're just drawn...
They're sharper?
Yeah. And, I don't know. There's something about these two that just isn't the same at all to me. I genuinely think her eyes are smaller in the chibis than they are in her normal image, just because she has such big eyes.
Uh-huh.
This emote is weirdly drawn, and it makes me feel weird.
Frog. Oh,
Karo.
Yes, Windows Defender. You can launch Mahjong Soul, that's fine.
Give it a lot of updates?
No, it's launching. It takes forever to launch. I don't know why. I just also the at a cursory glance, we'll get into it and maybe it'll make me mad. But at a cursory glance, I generally like this emote set, and I don't understand why this first one has to be so bad and weird. But it even kind of I guess she's sort of doing the same smile as she is in her default thing.
Yeah, this is the closest to, this is just my default pose emote. But it's drawn real weird.
Also kind of not her default pose. The fact that this sort of, limp little wave, takes all of the confidence of this, sort of hip swagger thing she's doing, out of it.
Yeah.
And so it ends up looking weirdly different despite its similarities. It looks like she's expressing a completely different emotion.
You see her eyes are dilated because she's seen something she likes. Like a cat.
Uh-huh. She's she's spotted a fly.
Fuck you for that one. You literally told me to be nice to you before this episode, and I'm bringing a combative energy.
It's fine. That wasn't about the episode. Listen. Here we're professionals, and so we have to do the best of our show. Then we have to do well by the show and not by each other. That's fair.
Mm-hmm. That's a normal and healthy way.
Be nice. You have to be nice to me and to do things that make me happy, like in general. But, anything for art, anything for my art, aka soulmates.
Soulmates.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
Stop thinking about frogs and less.
Kuro.
Fucking... She does a little... Right, this is how the podcast works. This one has, like, black background, which is freaking me out.
Yep.
She's in the shadow realm. Her face is, like, half-shadowed, but she's sort of generally sort of a little bit darker than usual. The darkened girl. And she's very close to the camera, and she's doing a sly wink with sort of slight angry eyebrows and, like, a big... kind of mischievous grin. I feel like her hair looks like sort of chewed bubblegum here. It's got the color, that sort of grayish pink of chewed bubblegum.
Oh, I see.
Now that it's, like, been darkened,
The tanned girl.
Fuck. The frogged girl. Just hunting for episode titles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can't just... No, we can. It's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want. This emote expresses a genuinely appropriate emotion for this character. It looks good. They don't necessarily often or always do this kind of, like, full shading thing, even if it's just clearly a little overlay, and so I like it. Oftentimes, there's, like, one specific way of making this expression that Mahjong Soul loves. Mahjong Soul loves to put the top half of a face in shadow. And, like, this is just a little different from that formula, and I appreciate it. If you block out the open eye in this image, you will get freaked out by the way that her closed eye looks, so don't. Now that I've instructed you to do that...
I did it, and I think it looks fine. I did it, and I think it looks fine. So you should do it so you can see how fine it looks. You should go to cohost.org/soul-mates-podcast and oh wait, you can't send images and asks. Fuck me.
Fuck.
Well, I guess you can just make a co-host post of just her closed eye and just sort of at us.
Yeah,
that's also fine.
Who's us?
The royal we.
Oh, I see. Of course.
You
this
may address
good.
I do like, I agree. It's characterful. It's fun. It's different. It stands out. I really like the shading, the like sort of like shadow line that goes across half of her face. Half of her face. In this is really honestly done very thoughtfully. In that it like kind of like goes up in the middle to give you a little sense of nose. I love when a chibi thing does a little thing that gives a little sense of nose, and then it goes like the line continues to go like exactly under her eye in a way that's very dramatic.
Yeah. I also really like the way that it is contoured. It's quite nice.
Is there not? Damn. Mahjong Soul, do you just not have credits on this game?
Returning to the B-plot of this episode.
Others. View Yaku, contact us, terms of privacy policy, reset to default, account binding. I'm not going to read that email out loud. It's not even my normal email. Damn, do these motherfuckers just not have credits? They just don't have credits on their game? That would be in character, but it makes me kind of mad. At least have your,
that's
like,
a
sort
reasonable
of default
thing to be mad about.
staff on there. I just want to know who their graphic designer is. I'm just interested. It's fine.
Yeah. It's not like I'm looking at your credits to send you complaints.
No. It's not like I'm looking at your credits to cancel you on Twitter.
Harassing
Kuro
the
2.
graphic designer out of a job for making one bad emote.
So tempted to continue this joke, but I shouldn't. Kuro 2, the third emote.
Yes. This emote fascinates me because it includes a hair ornament that she doesn't have. I mean, among the other props that she doesn't have. I can't tell if she's imitating, like, another character, and that's why, but we'll never know because we watched the promotional thing that this was promoting, and it didn't inform us of anything.
Wait. I'm taking a guess. You know the girl with awful pigtails?
Yes.
Does she have glasses?
I'll look it up in a minute. So she's got pigtails instead of a little ponytail. And she's got glasses, little pink glasses, and she's sort of looking off to the side with sort of a determined expression. Her mouth is slightly open with, like, teeth gritted or something. I can't tell if this is just, like, her doing an impression of another character, or what?
Must be. It must be. This must be just, like...
from Fate Illyia. Fate Kaleid Liner Prisma Illyia characters.
It must be. This is what we get for not watching the show / playing the 3DS game.
Sorry. I need to send you a screenshot?
Okay.
This is... Sorry. Dr. Go has something to tell me.
Okay.
Can you please look at what the image is on this? This is a picture of some soccer player who is not related whatsoever to Fate Kaleid Liner Prisma Illyia, as far as I can tell. But DuckDuckGo has shown me a little answers box to, tell me what Fate Kaleid Liner Prisma Illyia is, and it includes just a picture of this guy. And I don't know why. It's not in, like, the Google image search, if I look at the Google image search. Who is this?
Well, we need to put this image on the co-host.
Literally, who is this? Okay, whatever. Type moonfandom.com. Oh, this doesn't have, like, an easily look-atable list of images.
No. Why can't...
Can I just see some images, please?
Can we just see some images?
Hey, guys. I need some images. Anime Planet, can you give me some images? Rin Tosaka, she has pigtails. That's not the right hair ornament. Never mind.
Uh-huh. It's definitely not this soccer guy. He doesn't have glasses.
Not doing an impression of this soccer guy. Also, this is how I learned that Ilya's full name is Ilyasvale von Einsburn.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's fate.
It's fate. Okay, well, this gave me nothing, so I guess we'll never know, but we do know about this guy now.
She's doing an impression of Nanaha Onodera.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I'll accept that into my personal canon.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to, like, figure out... I'm trying to, like, take a deep breath and calm myself. And figure out, like, how I feel about this without going crazy and being like, wait, who's she supposed to look like? And be like, is this... How do I feel about this as just like an... If I was just playing Mahjong and someone used this emote, what would this emote mean?
Studious?
I guess. It doesn't... And my answer, I guess, is... not really anything. It's not, sort of nothing. She's got glasses on now, so I guess she's reading book?
It's just... It's not obviously a prop I mean, it's not like obviously a prop that conveys something, and also her hair is different.
Yeah, she's not like lifting up her glasses to do like a little anime shine, and she's not like, she's just wearing glasses now.
This is Kuro's equivalent of the Miyu maid outfit emote.
I was gonna say,
I wish that we had some context for this from the movie. Nope.
This is what we get for not playing the 3DS game. I
thought about it, but I was busy doing work on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. She's just... This emote is kind of nothing.
This emote is weird.
I assume that it's something
I feel
similar
weird
to the
about it.
maid. Yeah, I also feel kind of weird about it. I feel like similar to the maid outfit. I feel like I sort of suspect that whatever scene this comes from maybe is not a scene with great intent. But that's just kind of intuition.
I just get so disappointed that we watched that whole movie thinking this will help. Nothing except for the best thing that we've ever created, which is of course sludge. Don't kill yourself. Sludge.
The movie watch along episode. I will reiterate. Please watch the movie watch along episode.
Please listen. I don't even care if you just listen to the episode and don't watch the movie. That's a lie. I care a little bit. It's
Ash does exactly the same
time that I get close to saying it's a good movie, I stop myself.
I do the exact same thing.
Time I try to plug it.
I almost say it's a good movie and then I stop myself and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
But please, you have to... Don't listen to Ash is Mad. Wait, no, that's bad to say.
Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
But especially to Fate Kaleid Liner, PRISMA ILLYA Licht, the Nameless Girl, Watch Along, Bonus 2, Bonus 1, Don't Kill Yourself, semicolon, sludge.
The fourth episode of this podcast we ever did.
Which is also the best thing we've ever made.
Huh.
The fourth emote. Kuro 3.
Kuro 3, the fourth emote. I guess it's my turn to describe it.
It sure
okay,
is.
This closed eye freaks me out.
That's surprising, because this one doesn't freak me out.
What? Wow. Exact opposite preferences for closed eye. Fascinating.
Yes.
This one, she has a little finger out, and she's sort of holding it against her cheek, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's doing a big wink. Her eye is very shiny. Also, her winking eye is very shiny, which is part of what freaks me out.
That's normal.
And there's sort of like a pink tone to the whole thing. There's some pink fire behind her, and little
just
sort of
like
transparent
glowy
harts floating around. But it has this sort of flame shape at the top.
I guess.
It's like, pink lovey-dovey powder, whatever. Sparkles. And she's doing like a big smile and wink and blushing and is very, very shiny just overall.
Oh, she's so shiny. She's the shiniest that she'll ever be.
I feel like this one, the fact that she's so shiny, actually does a reasonably decent job of conveying that she's sort of like a 3-dimensional character, which I think is kind of nice. I have sort of complex feelings about shiny anime girls, but the shininess here makes her cheeks feel like they're, cheeks that puff out, and I think that's kind of nice. That's kind of the first thing I noticed about this.
I also have complex feelings about shiny anime girls, mostly because shiny anime girls make me think about squishy anime girls. We've recently looked at some very shiny and squishy anime girls, unrelated to the podcast.
Well, kind of related to the podcast, but not on the podcast.
Kind of related to the podcast, but not really. Nothing that will ever reach your ears, dear listeners. Unless you already heard it, in which case... This emote,
Uh-huh.
I like that she's shiny in this emote, not because I like her being shiny, but because it, successfully is fit to purpose, which is to say, when you're doing this, like, you know, this is like a comically, you know, like, what are those games? Dating sim. It's a comically dating sim-esque, like, little cutesy little portrait.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, this is...
that genre is so shiny. So, like, this is correct. You add it for dramatic, you know, and exaggerative effect.
Uh-huh.
I actually genuinely like this one.
I genuinely like this one, too. I feel like it has a good sense of, like, kind of, like, teasing to it, which is fun and great for, like, an emote. Someone would use this at me after I, like, fucking revealed that I... whatever. After...
Did something in Mahjong.
You know, imagine doing something in Mahjong. We hypothetically have so many Limbus Company listeners now that they don't fucking know what's going on. No, we can do whatever we want. But
listeners, you have to learn Riichi Mahjong, please.
Listeners, you have to learn Riichi Mahjong. They'll put it in Limbus Company eventually.
They will.
I believe this.
Watch
They
out.
will. In Kanto 9.
Yeah, okay.
You're gonna have to play Mahjong.
Classical
Riichi
Japanese Mahjong.
Classical Japanese Mahjong with cute and appealing anime girls, aka Ryoshu. Sorry, we can't. Anyway.
No.
But yeah, this is like the you're correct in that it hits that so hard. Like she's super shiny and slightly weird looking, but in a funny way. It's got these transparent hearts that are very repetitive, floating up like a particle effect in a video game. And someone uses this at you, and you just get like so mad. You're like, yeah, I know, I fucked up. Good emote.
I like it, you know, despite the fact that it is like such a flirty emote from this 11-year-old girl, because it feels like one big joke.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I like about it, is that it doesn't feel like we're legitimately, like, you know, playing this for serious. Like, this is how I'm gonna charm you using my charm emote. It's like, no, it's exaggerated. It's like, it has my favorite quality of an emote, which is that it's usable for ironic effect. It's like, it's good, and it's playful, and it fits personality, and it's, you know, it's so much better than, it has there's a personality.
Let's see if we keep doing this thing where every other emote is good and every other emote is bad.
Untrue. Emote 4, the 5th emote, is, whips.
Hold
I
it!
like it. Hold it! Take that!
Take that!
Objection! I like it so much. She's doing the Ace Attorney point. This is the one that I think is drawn by a different person than the first emote. Sharp.
Fascinating. Let me look at
Eyes
the hair
different.
texture. The hair texture can tell you a lot.
It's not too different, but I think it's a very prescribed style anyway. But there are some differences to it. Like, the hair is also slightly spikier, and there's just a difference in how it's, like, shaded. I don't know. She's doing the Ace Attorney point. There's some little, like, she's got the dramatic little, you know, action lines coming from her finger, and also the little swirl to indicate that her finger is real close to the camera. She's shouting, and she's got, again, a determined expression looking right at the camera, but her, you know, body is tilted to the left. I'm just gonna say left, because that's what it is in the image, and I've given up.
Okay.
None of this for me. I love this. Admittedly, part of the reason why I love this is because I'm famously an Ace Attorney freak. And so I just, like, am inherently charmed by this pose. But also, I say that this one is drawn by a different person than the first emote, partially because it's just drawn really well. Like, I really like the way that she looks in this. Her proportions look correct, and things look good.
It kind of freaks me out how, like, well, in this, like, tiny box with not that much detail, they, like, genuinely managed to convey, like, the slope of her shoulders and, like, the 3D-ness of the whole thing. Like, her hand genuinely feels like it's popping out of the frame a little bit, which is, you know, quite an accomplishment in this style. I really like how her right hand is drawn, like, genuinely. Like, it's stylized, but the, like, thumb and fingers are, like, posed really, really nicely.
This is one of those things where you get the feeling that this was posed for.
I love the little swirl on her finger.
It's classic. I like it.
It's so cute. It's like something that I haven't really seen them do that much. But it's real cute. And it just, like, again, it, like, you know, gives the whole thing some, like, fake depth. You're so close you can see her fingerprint. And it's nice. It's good image. Again, I like how her hand is a little bit cut off, and even the action lines are cut off.
Yeah.
To, like, again, it adds this sense that she's, like, too close to the camera. She's closer to the camera than she's supposed to be because she's jutting her finger towards it.
And, like,
that's,
compare that to the first emote where she's got the little wave that she's doing, which has some action lines coming off it, but they almost feel, like, really cramped by the image because they are fully within the box, but it all looks like kind of too small.
I honestly feel like this first one would be better without the action lines. They're weird.
Yeah.
They're, like, in a
really
weird place on her hair, also. But, like, the fucking Kuro 4, the fifth emote, the action lines are cramped intentionally, and it's a really strong effect. Also, the first emote, not to keep talking about it forever, but also it's our podcast.
Frog.
It's so... Frog. It's so flat. It's so flat. Every single... there's, like, maybe 2 panes to this, you know? There's, like, her body and her hand and everything is on one pane. She's made of layers of paper. And in this one there's, like, it's not just that, like, her finger is on a more forward plane. Did I say pane? I think I meant plane. Pane also works.
That also works.
It's not just that her finger is on a more forward plane than her body. It's that her, like, her left shoulder is on a more forward plane than her right shoulder. And, like, you know, there's, like, layers to her hair, and it's nice. It just looks really good overall.
Well, I'll also tell you what makes me think this is a different artist, is because I'm looking at Kuro 0 and Kuro 4 next to each other, like, directly. Like, I never do, because I don't click into these, because I just look at them from very far away. But the, like, I was going to note this when we were talking about Kuro 3, the fourth emote, but it always bothers me a little bit, like, just somewhat, how they do, like, blushes on darker skinned characters. This is just a general complaint about everything ever. It's just, like, super red. This contributes to the shiny thing. But, like, in Kuro 4, her cheeks are darker because that's how, you know, skin works. But it's, like, you know, a darker version of her skin tone as opposed to Kuro 0 where it's, like, a redder version of her skin tone. And that's just a different thing. That's just different.
That shit's different.
Just different.
That's just different.
I generally prefer this, you know, there's a middle ground between these two, which is actually preferable. Like, you know, Kuro 4 looks a little bit too ashy.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's still blood in your cheeks still get redder.
Yeah, there's a middle ground which is preferable, but I prefer Kuro 4 just because, like, it lends her a little bit more, like, I don't know, gravitas to, like, not be doing an exaggerated anime girl blush all the time. It's like, but then it retains the depth of her, like, face shape.
Agreed. Um, yeah. I don't think it's like me leaning into this conspiracy theory, despite the fact that in a previous episode, I don't remember which one, but I do remember this happening. I was like, I wonder if these emotes are drawn by different people, and Ass shut me down super hard. That's okay. I love and support you, so it's fine. But it's not necessarily the way the hair is drawn and shaded. It's sort of like the overall shaping of the hair. In 4, the 5th emote, it's like they get the shapes very. They still have the same general shapes, but like it has so much more detail. Like these sort of tufts coming off the left side of her head have so much more detail. The ponytail has a lot more detail, even as it sort of retains this. And then in the first one, it's just kind of like the blobby general shapes, way more so. There's a lot less like. Again, there's like layers in the 5th emote. Like it's not just like a blob of pink with outlines, which it is in the first one. There's like lines. There's like shaping lines within the hair. There's like dark lines within the hair to show you where like, this piece of bang splits off from like, the back of her, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory.
Who knows? If you had to guess, how many people do you think they have?
Oh God, I couldn't imagine.
That make these emotes.
I just don't know. I don't know how big of a studio this is. I don't know how, it takes a lot of people to maintain a live service game, but not that many people. Project Moon was like 20 people for a while. Total. But, I don't know. Is Catfit Studio smaller because they're making less money off of this? Or are they bigger?
Oh.
I don't know.
If you Google, fascinating. If you Google Cat Food Studio, they don't have a Wikipedia page. It's just the Wikipedia page for Mahjong Soul. And so I assume they're just sort of like a small spin-off subsidiary of Yostar. They kind of, maybe, presumably. And we're gonna find out nothing about Yostar. I've looked; they're very guarded.
In that case, 3 max.
3 was actually my guess. Yeah,
okay.
I would say 3. And then they just kind of maybe a couple of them have specialties for what kinds of things they do or what styles they do, but I assume they just kind of rotate.
I assume that those 3 people also work on other art assets.
Oh yeah, for sure. I bet that the people, that the people who make these emotes. Well, you can see this very, very clearly because whenever they have a little graphic design asset that's more than just shapes. It's always kind of in this art style, like the Ichihime fucking training camp thing. All of the little things were in this art style. Yeah.
Tichihime. Why did I not just go for that from point 1? Tichihime.
And so 3 people for that sort of overall job makes sense to me. And then you're right that they're probably not too picky about who that one artist does one full set of emotes to maintain consistency because they're probably all pretty good at this style. This is my
Even
guess.
though we dunk on one specific artist looking worse than the other one for 15 minutes in this episode already.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even necessarily mean good at this style as in good at art. I mean, they're professional artists. They're good at art. But just, they all know how to do it. They can all do the job.
God forbid our art criticism podcast become talking about which artists are good and which ones are bad.
We've dipped our toe into this a little bit. But genuinely, I'm these motherfuckers are just doing their job.
Yeah.
I have nothing against them. Art directors, though, I will kill with a knife. Or congratulate deeply,
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon. You know my feelings about sort of art in general.
Do.
I'm very I think a lot about directors in ways that other people don't.
I know this.
Anyway, Kuro 5, the 6 emote. Is it my turn? I forgot because we
It
went
is,
off
yes.
on such a tangent. Okay. She's confused. Um, she's she's got a very small mouth. And her eyebrows are kind of frowned, but her eyes are wide, and she's sort of like looking sort of up off into the middle distance, and there's two sort of kind of weird looking question marks hovering over her head that look like they're not quite, one of them looks like it's not quite finished as an art asset, like they didn't finish
That's
sort of
really
cleaning it
funny.
up. But that's fine. um yeah, she's confused. I actually kind of like this one. I wish there was a
Huh.
little bit more to it.
Yeah.
Um, but hang on, I'm okay. I was switching to the Japanese site to see if the question marks were like something different. They are not. They're just question marks.
Reasonable.
I like. I wish there was a little bit more to it. But one thing that this one does really well, is that I feel like the lighting on her eyes gives her a very glassy-eyed look, that
Mm.
really sells me on her being sort of like overwhelmed and confused and distant. Um, Nothing else in this is really anything. I kind of don't understand. Her mouth is really
Yeah.
weird. It's a little tiny white triangle for some reason. But if nothing else, these glassy eyes are genuinely look really good and do the job well.
I have various small problems with this emote, but I don't think they're all worth mentioning. I think the only one that's like significant in terms of like we've talked about something similar to this already. It's just that I think the ponytail is really cramped by the image because they won't let it be mostly off screen,
Yeah.
which is frustrating? Question mark. Frustrating. Kuro 5. Um, but
Right,
like,
because it's a question mark. I understand.
see, haha. I don't know. There's just like I don't think that my minor problems with this emo are that significant, just because I get the impression of it very strongly looking at it from a distance. It does what it sets out to do. It does it clearly. It does it without, like, compromising, like, strongly compromising the character. I think if this were, like... We've seen emotes a lot that are very general use, like, you know, this is an emote that 7 other characters have, but this one is for this character, that just end up looking weird because they don't know how to draw the character right to fit them in that mold. And I don't think this is one of those. I think it is perfectly within the bounds of the set and functions as, you know, a nice, simple, clear piece of art of Kuro.
Yeah.
This is a good contribution to the set overall, but as a piece of art, I am sort of, like, mild to maybe a little negative on it.
I feel like yeah. Here's my pitch for how to fix this without actually redrawing her. A classic. Here's how we would fix this emote. Our favorite mini segment on the show.
It's a segment-full episode.
I would. You have no idea what's coming.
Oh my god.
I have so much to say at the end of this episode.
Okay.
Take her. You're correct. Ponytail
I'm grabbing
too cramped.
her with force, like one of those
Grab-
stripping food with force pictures.
Grab her, slide her to the left. Her ponytail is off screen, and also she's no longer centered. She doesn't have to be centered. In fact, she shouldn't, because she's confused, and so her being off center contributes to that overall feeling, right?
Yes.
And then it's a little bit less cramped. And then be nice to me, because this is my first time sort of engaging in their favorite little graphical design element. But I feel like this one could really use maybe like a top left to bottom right diagonal slash. The left half of the background is sort of like maybe a dark blue, and the right half is like a white. It doesn't have to be right down the diagonal. Also, it could be a little bit sort of a slant. And then that gives it sort of like it just makes this image a little bit more dynamic because it's kind of boring. And 2, it sort of conveys this sort of like Is she stupid? Like, she's in the dark and she can't figure it out. And everything's like a little bit askew.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I do think this image could use a little bit of color. I was gonna say, would it, like, lose too much of her silhouette to move her over? But I realized the 2 close-ups that we have also totally lose this, like, top part of the silhouette where she has the little ponytail bump, and they're fine. Like,
Yeah, who
I mean, they're
cares?
close-ups, but, like, they're clear. I don't miss it at all.
Uh-huh.
So you can move her over. It's, like, totally fine. Yeah, I think I agree with you. This is good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for
Of course.
Fix This Emote.
Fix this emote
dot
in MS
com.
Paint.
In MS Paint.
MS Paint
no,
has layers now. You could do it.
MS Paint has layers now?
Yes.
Bitch. Oh. I think my computer is permanently stuck on an old MS Paint. Does MS Paint have transparency now?
Yeah.
What? That's fucked up.
MS
I
Paint is
can't
like
do
almost a
transparent.
real art program now.
That's messed
It's
me
not,
up.
but like almost.
It's enough to fix an emote in.
It's enough to fix an emote in. And folks, that's what we do here. Kuro 6? Kuro 6. I can zero index. Kuro 6,
Folks,
the
that's
7th
what we do
emote.
here. Parentheses, zero index.
We do. That's the thing. The amount of this podcast which is predicated on zero indexing is frightening. Kuro 6, the 7th emote is fantastic and fully fits the energy that we've just created in the studio today, which is that the right side of the emote is dominated by this, like, bright yellow exploding, impact mark with one little bolt of, like, lightning stretching out from it in a weird way.
Just to, like, poke her in the lips.
Just to poke her in the lips. And then there's, like, a major extreme close-up on her face in this style we've become very used to that is inexplicably cartoony, where her eyes are, like, rectangular white ovals with little, oval, just red dots for irises. Her lips are like she's been hit in the cheek real hard. And she's, being flung back from the force of the impact. You can even see the little movement lines coming off of her, like, outlines where she's just moving. I like her eyebrows, which are extremely thin but extremely angry. This emote is gold.
Yeah,
On every level.
Honestly, like, you could just have this emote as your, like, default, like, forum or Discord profile picture.
I would
and
not
people
blink an
would
eye.
be like, yeah, people would not blink an eye, and people would be like, LMAO. That shit's probably from, like, Scott Pilgrim or something.
This is great. I love it when they do this. Even when it's
Action
weird, I love
lines
it when
look
they do
so
this.
nice. It's so fun. It's so funny. It's not especially Kuro necessarily, but that's fine. It's fun.
I think
She can just
I think
be
it
fun.
can be plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Kuro.
Uh-huh.
I think she's just like she is a person who has exaggerated reactions to things, and thus it's fun to hit her real hard in the cheek.
I love that this, like, fucking splash of yellow impact, like, this shit doesn't even have any lines on it.
No,
It's just like a block of yellow, and something about that is really funny to me, and it, like, makes it really stand out and feel really weird in an appealing way. Great fucking emote. I almost don't have much to say about it. It's just genuinely very
it's just
funny.
great. Listen,
just
when they
fucking great.
when they do this, like, weird cartoon style, even when it's Ling Lang eating Ricci stick, which, not to say that's not the best piece of art that is in this video game, I never mean to imply that, but it is inexplicable. Even when it is inexplicable, it is gold to me. It's perfect.
The one thing I find really funny about this, that, like, you could construe this as sort of ruining it, but it doesn't, is that, like, they clearly have some sort of mandate to keep her silhouette recognizable, and so everything else is, like, this sort of thick-lined, fucking comic-y, mess, and then her front bangs are just drawn normal.
Very normal, yeah.
Because they're like, we have to keep a certain like percentage of the character in, for like, you know, for the sake of this like deal that we've made with this company.
With Prisma Illyia, sorry, Fate Kaleid Liner, Prisma Star Illyia, Licht, the Nameless Girl.
Fate Kaleid Liner, Prisma Star Illyia, Licht, the Nameless Girl. Anyway,
maybe when I'm in a Fate Kaleid Liner, Prisma Star Illyia, Licht, the Nameless Girl competition, and my opponent is Soulmates Pod on co-host. Soulmates Podcast. Fuck.
Soul-mates-podcast. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought because I started just repeating the phrase Fate Kaleid Liner, Prisma Star Illyia, Licht, the Nameless Girl in my head. It's get me getting a hit on the cheek by Prisma Star Illyia, Fate Kaleid Liner, Prisma Star Illyia, Licht, the Nameless Girl. Ooh. Or it's her mouth is closed, so it's more of an.
I think it's sort of a.
Yeah. Totally.
Spit.
Absolute. I don't want to move on, just because I like it, but we should move on. Kuro 7, the 8th emote. Wait, is it my turn?
That's
my turn. Sorry, I'm really bad at this today.
It's okay.
In this, she is centered in the frame. She's like leaning forward slightly. She's very mad. Her face is very red. She's got sort of like a I almost said just the wrong color. Kind of like a turquoise semicircle behind her. And she's mad and she's sad. There's big tears bubbling at the corners of her eyes.
Yeah.
Her eyes are really. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do with her eyes here, because her eyes kind of look like they're blushing. They have this like, I guess like, okay. I guess they kind of have this in general. She has this sort of, the way they draw her eyes is with this sort of band of
she has
pink,
like a pink
across
phase
the middle.
in the middle.
But it's really exaggerated here in a way that I don't dislike, but I'm not quite sure about it. How do you feel about the color of her face here, just off the bat?
Too red. But I do like it. I like this emote generally speaking, just because it's like, you know, a very childish thing. When your face gets all scrunched up and red and you try not to cry, you know, extremely, and it's also just like, you know, even more than just being like a childish thing, it's also extremely like emotionally relatable. Like this is evocative. That's the word I'm looking for. It's evocative. On an aside, I just noticed in all of these emotes basically, and they do this I guess in every image of this like uniform, they always, like, make sure to put these shadows on the top of the shoulders, which make it look like there's a little gradient there. There isn't. I'd like to be clear. It's especially visible in this emote, but they're always sure to put those little shadows there, and they've always got, like, a darker shadow and then a slightly lighter shadow. And it's freaking me out looking at these emotes, how much that is within the, like, design parameters of this.
See, you've kind of ruined it for me, because I was about to compliment the shading on this. I was about to say, the shadows are sort of darkly shaded, which gives you a really strong sense that she's leaning forwards, gives it some depth. But now that I know that it's in all of them, it's now freaking me out. So thanks for ruining everything for me, Asher Lark.
I mean, it goes further down in this one in a way that
No.
I still think it's a great lean.
It's a good lean. She's clearly like... She doesn't necessarily feel like she has her hands behind her back, which is weird. She feels like she has her fist sort of balled behind her.
Yeah, like at her
side. Which is a lot to pull out of a thing where you can't see anything about her arms. And so it's just like a very evocative pose. You are right that the fact that her blush is bright red makes her skin look lighter than it is, which freaks me out. Yeah. But nonetheless... Good emote. I also just like this. It's get ready for the stupidest thing I've ever said.
Okay.
but it gives very strong, like, girl in an anime vibes. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, I haven't watched this show, but I can really picture the scene in which she is sad and angry at Ilya, and is like doing this facial expression, and it's sort of like,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like it's from an anime, and I can look at this and be like, this must be from the anime. But it isn't some, like, extremely niche bullshit, like, suddenly she has glasses. And so it makes me, like, understand what her character in the anime is maybe like, and this is sort of appealing to me.
Yeah.
Was that
That's
the stupidest
nice.
I've ever said?
No.
Okay, good to know. I'm taking notes.
And then Kuro 8, the ninth emote, is also got this like dark turquoise background to it. This little half circle in the bottom. And she's just lying on the floor. She's got a big, open, happy mouth and spirals for eyes. She has been knocked out. KO!
No, it's
dead on the
Kuro,
ground.
actually.
Ah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
KO.
Karo.
Kuro. Kuro!
Anyway.
Every character needs either an emote in which they're threatening to do violence against you, or an emote in which they're dead on the ground. Prove me wrong.
Uh-huh. You need this.
You need this.
You need this.
Just letting you know, if you don't have this, I'm not there.
I don't have a lot to say about this one. It's fine. I like that we get a half body. It's nice to have something different. There is like good variety and framing in all of these, but they are all headshots. And so, and this is still kind of a headshot, but it's at least, most of a half body, and that's nice. It's on a fun angle. She's not just falling down, she's falling like, the angle contributes to something. Serviceable.
Very
These spirals are so big. They're so big.
It's because she's got big old eyes.
It's an emote. Also, she got big old eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Anyway.
We don't need to say much about this one.
No.
She's dead on the ground. That's what she's deserves.
Dead on the ground. It's the end of the episode. She's dead.
Well, it is time for our 5-minute break.
It is time for our 5-minute break. Bye, everyone.
I need everyone to go lie dead on the ground for 5 minutes.
Yeah, for 5 minutes, go lie down on the ground. Okay, I'm gonna go lie down on the ground.
Let's go.
私はミユみたいに一打ごとにちゃんとした理由は言えない。その時何を引いたかで決めてるわ。今までの戦いも麻雀もそうしてきた。目的や理論がわかんなくても、過程を省いて望んだ結果だけを得るの。
Don't worry, just look at this image of this man and it'll all get better.
Soccer man. Why is he
Soccer
there?
man.
Why is he there?
Why is he there? I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Soccer man. I think we could talk to Raikkonen and on our new cover art get Kagehime replaced with this man. New mascot
Yeah,
of the
that
podcast.
man. His name is fake kaleid liner PRISMA ILLYA. And that man was named Fate Kaleid Liner PRISMA ILLYA.
It makes me so mad that Kaleid Liner is in lowercase.
I know.
It's so obnoxious. What's fucking wrong with you? Can we just start so I can keep all of that in?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, welcome back.
Hi. Available after making a bonding promise with Kuro.
Let's fucking go. I love it when he says it. It makes me so happy every time.
Well, it's actually on this page.
It is actually on this page.
It hasn't been for a minute.
It doesn't say either, like, some stupid little line that I don't care about it because I just want it to say...
Or available after making a bonding promise with...
with...
You can't see it, but I'm staring at the microphone with my insane eyes.
Motherfucker just said with.
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 Every time I do that, I turn to the microphone and stare at it as though you can see me. Initial impressions of this outfit. This one is better than Miyu's.
This one is better than Miyu's. I hate everything so much. I hate everything so much, but this one is better than Miyu's. Yes, I can't hate everything that much. Well, here's the problem, right?
Firmly, I believe this.
Here's the problem, right? Is that, I think that this outfit, in sort of a kind of, like, cold, clinical, objective way, it kind of whips and is awesome. I just don't want her to be 11. I don't want it, because I want to just look at this outfit and be like, oh shit, these colors kind of own, and like, it's kind of sick, it's very stupid, but in like a fun way, and just not feel weird about it. Why does it do this to us?
I understand. Listen, to be clear, she's fully, like, mostly unclothed in this outfit. There's no getting around it. She has, like, a creepy belly tattoo that will always be creepy. I don't care what they say about it in the anime, this is creepy. The bar is so low. And, like, the fact that this image has less clothes than Miyu, and I like it more, is insane.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it is
if
like...
it's just like her body, I don't care as much as if you put clothes on her and then just, like, make them skin tight.
Yeah, make them sort of almost worse than skin tight is the problem with Miyu. It's the fucking weird pubis lines and shit.
Yeah.
Which, like, don't look too hard at the underwear here, because you'll get upset, but, like, it's still, like, not as awful. You know, fucking, I don't know, you know, fucking, 11-year-olds are allowed to, like, wear a swimsuit, and I can say that and maybe feel very slightly more okay. You know, also she just, like, looks like an adult, which is weird.
Yeah, she looks so much like an adult. It's freaky.
In a way where I'm like, this, like, makes me feel less bad about it, because there's, like, an instinctual part. I have to, like, think to sort of realize that I'm looking at a child, because she just looks like an adult woman. But, like, it makes it both better and worse in a weird way.
Yeah, it's bad in many ways. The flame effects on this whole thing and the sort of black and red and orange actually look fucking awesome.
Yeah, the other thing is that this kind of looks fucking awesome.
It looks fucking awesome.
I love these
Here's my bar for, like, why I think this is better. Not just slightly, as in, like, the bar is very low, but actually by leagues, is that if I saw someone using this in Mahjong Soul as their character, bond up Kuro, I would not immediately think, what a creep.
Yeah. I love these, like, lines of flame that are clearly, like, radiating from this heart and also, like, pulling up her two capes, like, with them. There's, like, clear sense of, and also, like, pulling up these fucking flower petals, these rose petals that are the same color as her hair and sort of exist out of nowhere. There's these sort of silly, playful little hearts that match her playful little expression. I don't understand this top cape part, but it's like a sick fucking Dracula cape. It looks like the Dracula cape from fucking Spelunky 2, where it has the two wings.
Oh my god, yeah.
But also coming off of it are these fucking tracksuit ass sleeves.
I know. Oh my god. It's like she's got a little collar like to go with them, and it's so weird. It's like I feel like I understand what they're going for, but I don't.
This
also, they come to a glove, but only over the middle knuckle.
Only over the middle knuckle. This like fucking weird cape tracksuit thing feels like something that they would come up with like as a joke in like What We Do in the Shadows. Where they would be like, you know, we have to merge sort of classical vampire fashion with modern fashion, and so they come up with the tracksuit cape. And fucking... Oh, I haven't watched What We Do in the Shadows in a while. I don't remember any of the character names. Never mind.
Me neither. It's okay.
Good show, though, generally speaking.
It's a good show.
And then her, like... Yeah, her, like, bottom cape. Love that she has two capes. Just, like, don't look sort of between her legs. But it's this sick fucking... It's just, like... It's the red fabric, but then it just sort of turns into fire. It sort of becomes this kind of, like, you know... Pokemon 2000, the animated movie, like, fire effect. And it's kind of sick. I love... Don't look between her hips, because I actually do kind of love these weird fucking belt things she has on her, like, above her knees. I don't understand them, but they're some really cool anime bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm famously a genuine fan of, like, too many belts JRPGs. This isn't even that, but, like, I do like it. I think they must, like, don't think about it, but I think they must, come up and attach to, like, the underwear.
Yeah, I guess.
To keep... Because otherwise they would just, like, be limp.
I don't really care. I don't
really care. They do look really cool.
They do look really cool. Her boots are, like, moderately cool. They're nothing special, but, you know.
Her boots are weirdly, like, contoured to her legs and feet, and it freaks me out. This is my main problem with how shoes are in this game, is that they're just always, like, contoured to the shape of the body, and that's not what shoes do.
Yeah, you can really tell, like, artists who care and about, like, how clothes work and artists who don't, whether or not they do this.
KR976 got the shoes.
Got those fucking kicks. But, like, yeah, these, like, boots that look like they're stockings that turn into boots, but, like, just kind of organically. Very strange. I mean, it's not like sort of skin-tight boots don't exist, but they don't look like this. These are semi-sheer stockings that just sort of turn into boots via her freakish demon magic, I can only imagine. I don't know. It, like, again, like, it conveys character very well. It conveys very much this sense that she's, like, you know, some part of her is this, like, fucking, like, demon thing, but also she's sort of, like, cutesy and teasing and gets her mana from giving little kisses. And regardless of how I feel about that, I'm like, yes, you're telling me this very clearly, and doing a good job. So I can't fault you there. Again, the artist is just following the artist prompt to some extent.
Is doing their job to some extent, and they do it here in a generally less creepy way. I like following weirdly from one of the emotes from the last set. I like that Kuro's whole aesthetic here is, like, you know, sort of a fiery, prototypical, like, romance scene with the, like, cherry blossoms that are also little embers and, like, the big old stupid heart. Like, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah. It's
just,
fun.
like, it's fun.
And
it
it
feels
like
silly.
It messes the opposite. It meshes well with, like, the vampire theming that she's, you know, got going on, which is a little bit weird, but But if you don't think about it, it's sort of like, vampires are this sort of fiery romance thing. And so if that's her thing, it makes sense that she has this sort of like these very clear
Man, I wish I
vampire
knew what her
shapes.
thing was. Maybe we could watch something.
Well, I hear that this crossover was a crossover with like a movie specifically.
Oh.
So like maybe we could just there's also like a show, but the crossover was like specifically with this movie,
Specifically
right?
with the movie.
So,
Yeah,
like-
okay. It'll be a movie tie-in, and I will understand everything after watching the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do this as a
Also, her
bonus
hair
episode.
is
We'll
different
talk
here.
after. Oh yeah, that's true.
Sorry, you got me with that one after I had already moved on.
Uh-huh.
Her hair is different, and she's got a little, like, we can't actually see the ornament that's in the back of it, but I think you can see it in the show/movie, that it's tied up with, like, this long pin.
You can see it in the first one of her emotes. It's tied up with like sort of two chopsticks.
Oh yeah, that's actually, I'm glad.
It's in a little bun at the back. It's cute.
It's a bun, and then it flares up.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Overall, this Bond up, has... The problems are on its face, and then everything else is just kind of great.
It could be better, but it certainly could be
better.
worse.
If this were an adult woman, no problems.
I think I would even we don't have to do this, but just like to be a little bit generous, I think I would even be okay if like if her like bottom cape was like a skirt and it sort of like closed in the front.
Yes.
I think that would honestly...
Generally, I agree.
I think that would fix most of it. If the crotch shot wasn't there, then I could be, in that world I might be a little bit harsher on this like bat bra, but I'm generally more okay with it than, I would be broadly fine with this. Instead I'm broadly like, this is kick-ass, and also I'm broadly not fine with it at the same time, because they hate me.
They hate sort of existing in a way that is okay and fine.
They can't just have good things just be good.
They can't just
sort
have
of
good
all
things.
the way
They
through.
also have to have the characters from fucking Fate Khalid Liner, PRISMA ILYA, Licht, the Nameless Girl, which is a blessing and a curse, because it made me watch that movie, but they shouldn't be in Mahjong Soul.
Yeah.
And also, they made me watch that movie, I guess.
It's a good...
Emotes, then?
Limbus...
Limb! We work for Limb!
Anyway.
Limb! Fix... Sorry.
She's just doing her... In Kuro 10, the 10th emote? This actually
10th
is the
emote.
10th
This
emote.
always happens, yeah.
Yeah, it's very funny. She's doing her best Fuji impression.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I have to stop you there. It's Kuro 1-0. And then
What?
Kuro 1-1. And then Kuro 1-2. Because
Oh.
this is her other outfit. I'm choosing to believe this as the truth.
So that it's still 0 index.
So that it's still 0 indexed.
Uh-huh.
And also maybe that's the reason why all of the other fucking emotes have an insane numbering system if they're not from the main or the bond.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at the Fuji emote. Always happy
Okay.
to look at Fuji. Sometimes I just show people Fuji to pitch them on the show. I'm like,
Literally, I
look
also
at
do
this,
the same thing.
look at this picture of Fuji, and here we talk about it. And then they're like, wow, I want to listen to the podcast, and I'm like, get fucking owned, get wrecked. But like, I'm gonna go look at Fuji's hitting you with a fan emote. I'm just gonna see how similar it is. I'll put it on our Discord for the purposes of side to side. Discord, please let me. Okay, fine. Copy image, paste image. You're not just gonna let me drag it over like a normal fucking program.
Oh my God. Yeah, the side by side is that they're the same.
side by side is that they're, like, literally the same.
The difference between these two is that Kuro is holding her sword like a baseball bat, like she's just swung it and it's behind her now.
Wait, actually, I don't... Now that I'm looking at them side by side, Fuji, it's kind of very clear where her fan has traveled, like the arc that it's taken. Kuro, I'm not so sure. Was this like a bottom right to top left, like upward slash?
I think this was a baseball bat movement where you hold it and then you swing it and it goes fully behind you.
Oh,
Then
okay.
again, her hands are held in a fucked up way on this thing.
Her hands are... Well, the thing is, her hands are held as if she's about to take a swing, as if the glimmer in the distance is the
It's
baseball.
coming towards her, and
it's
she's
coming
gonna
towards her, and
cleave
she's
it.
ready to... Yeah.
Cleft in twain.
Yeah. I don't really care. It's fine that she's copying Fuji. I'm not married to Fuji. I wish I was.
Me too.
But... like, I'm not married to, like, they can never repeat things. If I was, that would make the podcast very hard. I still think that this is a sick emote. It's still a sick emote on her. I like the execution a little less because I think her body dynamics, again, are a little weird to me. But I like that you can see her fun little bun hair. I like her weird little curved sword. I have feelings with the fact that she gets like a scimitar when she's the tanned girl, but we don't have to get into it too much.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, good emote. It's got a fun sort of blue sky coloring. Maybe she's just fighting a motherfucker in the sky with her sword. You know. Good.
Yeah. This completes the duo of, lying on the floor and doing violence.
Uh-huh. You have to bond up her to
Realization
do
of
violence,
the floor of lying on the floor.
Uh-huh. Joke that no one will understand.
Yep.
It's our podcast.
In Kuro 1-1, the second emote of her Bond set, this is the bit I'm doing now.
Can you imagine if Mario levels were zero indexed? She said, as if her Audacity didn't just crash and we lost a little bit of time.
This would be awesome and would make me very happy. In Kuro 1-1, the second demon of the Bond set, which I think I've already said according to the new recording, but whatever. I can't tell what she's doing. She's pointing sword at you?
She's pointing sword at you.
No, but there's like... Is that hilt and big hilt, little sword?
Yeah. I don't see why not. Maybe it's like
I'm trying to figure out if she's using a
magic.
magic power or if that's just sword.
Uh-huh. Big hilt, little sword.
It's... Okay. She's pointing sword at you, and there's little, like, lines, there's rays coming out of the tip of the sword, shiny, and /or magic. Who's to say? Maybe this is a gem and not the sword. It looks like she's holding the sword, though. Don't look at her face for too long, or else you get freaked out by, like, the positioning of the features on it, but she's, she's looking sidelong at you, and she's, you're an enemy. This works. Except for the fact that this is the most, like, obtuse visual composition.
It's also very, like, shot from an anime. It still is, technically, but something about, like, it just feels like this is just a shot from the anime, you know?
Yeah, a classic scene from the movie that we watched.
Classic scene from the movie that we watched. She might stab someone with a sword in the movie. I kind of don't remember. It's a lot of a movie.
It's a lot of a movie. Mostly I remember the three women and the forks.
The forks! No, why would you say this to me? The forks!
I knew it would do it to you.
She killed herself with this!
No, wait, I can't laugh if you haven't listened to our episode, it'll just sound like I'm laughing really hard at she killed herself with this.
You don't understand. He's taking the spoons and he's making them into forks. And then the forks
He makes a really shitty fork.
He makes really shitty forks, but then he makes a really good fork and he wants to show her, but she's dead. She's dead because he killed us of the shitty forks.
And also she's 3 women.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I guess this emote is fine, except that it's just sort of... I'm sorry, but it just sort of looks dog shit. Like, why would the sword be that far? It's not even in the middle of the hilt.
Uh-huh. You're not wrong.
It's fit to purpose, but it just kind of looks dog shit.
I wish it looked cool, because we so rarely get emotes like this. Like, it's
Yeah,
so, like,
maybe we
unique
don't
and
get
fun.
emotes like this because no one can draw that shit.
No one on their team of 3 people, ?
Speculative.
Yeah.
Can draw that shit.
No one can draw that shit. However, people sure can draw this next fucking emote.
Oh my god,
which is the
yes,
best
they
looking
can.
emote in the game. She is, she's just black and white lines, and she's making a big angry toothy face in this, like, extremely sketchy, weird style, as, like, a crash of dark red descends upon her, and I can't tell if she's really mad or if she's being thrown to the ground, or, like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening, but it's so fun. It's so funny.
So good.
It's so good.
Once again, all they need to do is interrupt the formula a little bit, and I'm like, okay.
And I'm there. But this is interrupting the formula so much, and it looks so good. She kind of, like...
It's just like, she's like a character from fucking, I mean, she's like from a manga panel, but from one of those, like, you know, side comics that they include in the full,
Yeah.
volumes.
Absolutely. This is like from the side comic in which the artist is drawing, like, themselves making the manga.
Absolutely.
She also, her eyes are very funny. I keep looking at this and looking at her eyes, and I'm like, oh, she's wearing the Dirk Strider glasses. I guess I should probably use a less incendiary reference for those glasses, but it's fine.
It's fine. We can do whatever we want. It's our
do
podcast.
whatever we want. Stay tuned for season 3, in which we talk about the characters from Homestuck. Never mind.
I would do it.
Well, we'll talk. But, this page isn't working. Mahjongsoul.club is currently unable to handle this request. Well, I'm not going to click that again.
Okay. What did you click out of curiosity?
I clicked to make the emote big, and it was like, no.
Oh, fuck
like,
no. We're getting DDoSed.
We're getting DDoS. Is someone DDoSing
Someone wants to
Mahjongsoul.club?
take down Mahjongsoul.club.
Is someone also DDoSing me and fucking up my Audacity?
Yes.
What's happening?
System interrupt. We cannot let soulmates continue any longer.
Soulmates has gotten big enough that we have people who hate us. We have haters now.
We have haters. Alternatively, they don't want this episode to continue because they don't want the podcast to go on break.
If you're hey, spoilers for the end of, or announcements at the end of the episode.
Sorry, I had to make the joke, which meant doing spoilers.
If if you're a Soulmates hater, please let us know on co-host. Please use the co-host ask feature to be a hater. We love engagement.
All press is good press.
All press is good press. There's not much to say about this except it owns. Move on?
It owns. We can stop speaking about it right now.
Great. Prisma Live. Kuro.
Oh, right. Prism
Live. Prism Live.
Prism Live. Sorry, Prism. Not Prisma. Not Prisma. It's Prism. The traditional soft and sweet idols are outdated now. It's time for the wild ones. Let me sacrifice this guitar and make the hype of this place go over the roof.
Let's fucking go.
Also, Fate Kaleid liner Prisma ILYA X Mahjong Soul collab exclusive. Hey, shoes.
Hey, shoes. Sick fucking shoes, TBH.
Sick
These
kicks.
are great shoes. They look like shoes that someone would wear in a Mario game, but that's fine. They have a little face, and that's great.
Wait, oh my god, you're right. If you look at them from this angle, it's like they got a little grin.
They've also got red bottoms, like they're Louboutins. Fun fact about me, I called Louboutins Lubinis for a large period of my life.
I don't know
and
what
just
a Louboutin is.
Louboutins are very, very, very expensive women's shoes, notable for their red bottoms. If you see, like, women wearing red-bottomed heels, they're either Louboutins or more likely they're pretending to be Louboutins.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Anyway, I broadly... Also, I think we were pretty nice on Miyu's paid outfit, but this one is way better.
This one's better. It's way more dynamic. Listen, I don't care that this is like an upshot, given the fact that it is for this clear purpose of like doing this dramatic thing. Also, you're looking from under her because she's on a stage.
Yeah.
And she's about to smash this. It's so dynamic. She's got, like, my only, like, problem with this that I can see immediately is just that she's clearly got, like, shit going on in her hair that I just can't see because she's got the guitar in it. I just can't. There's a ribbon there that I can't identify the source of.
Uh-huh.
But it looks like... Actually, I have thoughts about the pose, but I'll get back to you.
I like that she's, like... She's wearing an idol uniform, but she hates it. She's kind of like she's got like the top bit of this fucking of the same idol uniform I think that Miyu has. But she's clearly just kind of like ripped away the stupid corset thing, and she's wearing the jacket sort of free and loose. She's ripped off like only one of her like weird little detached sort of shirts. Not sleeves.
Oh yeah.
What's this thing called? The cuff.
Yeah.
And, like, is just kind of, like, is, you know, sort of halfway between an idol and this just fucking, like, rocker girl. And it kind of owns, I feel like they give her thing that they never do. They're doing at least a little bit here. It's giving her arms at least a little bit of muscle definition, which I always enjoy.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
everyone
mostly
should...
it's, like, just they have, like, the shape of her armpits in there. But, like...
There's some muscle on that shoulder. Everyone should have muscle definition on based on the fact that everyone has muscles.
So true.
You know, I'm sure you have thoughts on this pose, which you can get to. I'm sure you have thoughts on this left leg, which is a little bit out
See,
there.
that's my... Shall I?
You shall.
Just, like, listen. I don't mind that much. This is a very hard thing to master, especially given you're doing this foreshortening thing, and you've got, like, a bottom-up perspective, and, like, there's a lot going on in this image. I get it. I understand this is hard. If you think about this image from a literal, like, perspective, actually, like, most of her upper body is leaning down onto you, which is fucked up. And so if you think about these legs for too long, you will also freak out. And that's okay. That being said, one of them go out, other one go in, foot go in, both feet go in, but one on toes, other one standing on speaker, and the foreshortening freaky on the thigh, and the foot go in, foot go in, foot go in.
They love to have toes point each other.
Problem that would literally the only thing you need to fix in order to make me okay with this is that you take that leg in Photoshop and you switch it so that it's pointing out, and then you're fine.
It does look like her hip is detaching from her body. Her left hip is like popping out, and it.
I just realized she also has the little like half skirt.
Yeah. She has like just a bit of the skirt sort of clinging to the belt.
Attached to the belt.
Yeah. One of her hips is coming loose. Very scary and dangerous.
I'm choosing to believe that little drawing on her thigh is just like she just scribbled that on there. I think that's
with like a fucking marker in the break room. Absolutely.
It's the same thing that's on the speakers. She also just put on there in the break room.
Yeah. She was sick of their default idol branding, so she was like, I'll just make my own fucking branding with my fucking like Fireheart shit.
Yeah. I think it's vampire wings, but bat wings. It's not vampire wings. Bat wings. Bat wings. Bat wings. I know things. Also cute is this little like devil tail that is just has a little heart on the end.
Yeah, it's not like coming from her, but it's clearly a little devil tail. There's also like you can see in the background. I mean, there's this big sort of strip of music notes question mark whatever, it doesn't matter. This purple and pink sort of has music notes on the inside and little hearts on the outside, but behind that is these sort of like this shape of the demon wings just kind of abstractly behind her, and it owns, and again it's this sort of like her kind of like red, her sort of demonic sort of red and orange and yellow kind of like bursting out through this like poppy idol pinks and purples. It's sick.
Yeah, the colors are great. These blue, like, beams of light in the background are super unnecessary to me, but just, like, the core, like, pink, purple, yellow, this is great.
Uh-huh.
No notes.
No notes. I wish, like, it didn't look like that, but,
I wish it didn't look like that. I wish they were less tempted to just put random shit all over her limbs. In a way that just generally freaks me out. I wish that it wasn't like that. I wish that she had like anything on other than this top. But like credit is a fun ass pose.
It's a fun ass pose.
Fun
it's
ass
clear.
image.
She's having a good time.
Listen, that's the core difference, I think, between, like, the Miu one and this one, is that, like, I feel less weird about this one, in no small part, because Kuro looks like she's having a good time.
Yeah,
and
all
not,
the time.
Like,
and
some
Miu
sort
looks
of
like she's
weird
dying.
dress-up doll.
Yeah, absolutely. She, like, feels like a person, which in some ways can make it worse. But also, at least there's that.
At least there's that.
At least there's that. At least I can like her, I don't have to like what she's
At least
wearing.
on some level, I can feel a little bit like, I can't stop you from wearing that, I guess.
Yeah, you're fucking 11. You can do whatever you want, I guess.
Untrue, but at least I feel slightly less like someone put you in fucked up clothes and put you in front of me,
Yeah.
just because they hate me.
How many things have the tag guitar? Oh, it's her and then it's all Samir, which is very funny. Default Samir does not have a guitar. That shit's tiny. It's like a violin. He has a ukulele. Ukulele's not a guitar. Two of these are a ukulele and not a guitar. Where's my ukulele
also, I've
tag?
never looked at Samir in my life before.
I hate him.
I'll hold it for... Oh, okay. I was going to hold it for the podcast, but I hate that.
Yeah, he's one of my least favorite men in this game.
It just looks weird.
He's awful. Anyway, this emote.
This
Kuro 956.
Kuro 956, the emote for this outfit,
Uh-huh.
is, I guess, her smashing the guitar.
Oh, yeah!
You.
It totally is. She's smashing the guitar. I like how they maintain this, like, fucking pink-purple thing in the action lines of this guitar smash. She's just hitting you with the guitar. She seems, like, genuinely mad in a way that's almost kind of scary.
One of my original thoughts on this emote was, is this too much of a, like, Dripping Glamour Kaguya-hime throwing water at you emote? Like, is this an you've embarrassed me and I'm gonna hit you emote? And I decided on not really. I think she, like, the glowing, the fact that her irises are, like, fully lit and the rest of her face is, I think she's just sort of like that, generally speaking.
I think she's just killing
evil.
you. Yeah. Shoutouts.
Honestly?
To be killed by an 11-year-old with an electric guitar? There are worse ways to go.
There are worse ways to go.
I don't know. I feel like this one actually looks kind of nice. I feel like it has so much detailing that it's kind of hard to read. But I don't even mind that because I kind of just like looking at it as an image. It's evocative. It's fun. The colors are fun. It's nice. There's a lot of the lines are really nice. I like that they're like that her little scarf gets caught up in the lines of the guitar moving. It doesn't make any sense, but it is kind of cool.
It is awesome. I was just thinking about, like, I was tempted to say I would buy this outfit for this emote, and it made me think, like, where does this outfit place on the do I think you're a creep if you own this scale? And the answer is, like, I don't think it's innocent of being on the I think you're a creep if you own this scale. I might think you're kind of a creep if you own this, but that's mostly just because I know what these characters are.
I could
and cannot forgive their existence. It looks fun.
Here's the thing. Is that, like, there's so little shit in this game in which, like, girls and women get to, like, rock and roll, you know? And there's so little of that. And I would honestly be willing to give you the benefit of the doubt of, like, you just wanted a fucking girl who's rock and rolling and smashing her guitar.
Kill.
Yeah, like she's, just finished. It doesn't matter. Never mind. I was about to make a very stupid reference.
Okay.
I was about to make a reference to The Who, the band from the 70s, famous for smashing all of their instruments after every concert.
I'm aware.
Also
of
famous
this.
for being on a lot of cocaine.
Most
Shoutouts.
fans.
Not her though. She's 11.
She's 11.
Yeah. Like, taking people in good faith, which, like, I do on the internet maybe more than I should, but I just want things to be okay. I would look at this and just be like, yeah, you just, like, want a girl who's smashing a guitar. Totally fair.
This doesn't immediately set off my creep senses, and that's enough.
Yeah. But that's sort of broadly a lot of Kuro. I'm like, I wish this was better, but also, like, there's things to it that are genuinely appealing. And so I'm willing to forgive. I'm not willing to forgive some things, but I'm willing to, like, be okay with, like, if you like these things, that's okay. There's appealing things about them. If you like Miyu, fuck you. Go die.
Fuck off.
Get off.
For legal purposes, if you listen to this podcast and you like images that we think are freak shit, I trust you. You're fine.
Thanks for being
This image is a little bit of freak shit, but
yeah,
like, I can live with it.
She's got a guitar.
She's got a guitar.
I just love, there's so, yeah, there's so few, there's so little shit in this game that is, like, I keep avoiding using this word, but it's fine, but it's, like, kind of butch, and this is, like, all we get, and I'm like, you know what, I guess I'll take just the teeniest crumb.
This one's for the butches.
This one's for the butches. It's not very good to them, but it's at least something.
No. Gusar and Cat Food Studios. Not great to the butches.
Not great to the butches. Well, numbers, baby.
Cute.
I had, like, in case we went super short, like the fucking other, like, our most recent crossover episode, I did have some extra images for us to look at, but I actually don't think we need them. I think we're fine.
Yeah.
Cute. She's 11, and this gives you a
11.
sort of natural boost, but she's not especially, she's not especially cutesy.
She's not cutesy. She's incidentally cute.
She's incidentally cute. In her sort of teasy little haha, you little idiot kind of way. But I'm not comfortable giving her, like, a 1, but I probably wouldn't give her higher than a 3. And so I guess
I was gonna say 3, so
3 is good. 3 is good.
3 is good. She's cute because she's a child, and being a child is pretty adorable.
Yeah. Shout out to being a child. If there are any children listening to this show, you probably shouldn't be listening to this show.
What?
Don't. Yeah, get out of here. Go watch fucking Pregnant Elsa Spider-Man videos on your parents' iPad.
I thought you were going to say go watch Fade Kaleid Liner PRISMA ILLYA, the Nameless Girl. Leaked.
Wow, canceled. Ash canceled. Didn't get the name right.
Sorry.
Appealing.
Appeal. 4.
Okay. Yeah. Kinsey.
So this one is, thank you. This one is,
It was just a perfect so, you know? Sometimes
It's
sometimes you
difficult.
just say a one word just perfectly.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is difficult. She's... I almost don't want to express this on the linear nature of the Kinsey scale.
Okay.
But this is the rock we've bound ourselves to.
Sure fucking is.
Like Prometheus being his liver eaten.
By Yostar Games and Cat Food
By
Studios.
Yostar and Cat Food Studios.
Yum yum, so full of liver.
Because she's a child. Which brings her closer to an ex. But she does kiss girls.
Wait, girls
Which-
kiss girls?
Like from Mahjong Soul. Girls kiss girls, comma, player. I couldn't think of a line to fit that into. She
You're doing
does
great,
kiss
hon.
girls, but the girls in question are Illyia. Which, as we've discussed, is weird.
I don't know why I chose that moment to take a bite of sandwich, as if you were
Yeah,
going to
you
go any
went
longer.
way away from the microphone and then took a bite of food. It was, like, fascinating. Interesting podcasting noise. My intent is to make you choke on this sandwich live. I'm hoping that'll make good audio and good content. Here, I'll take a sip of water so you can get one of me too. Yes!
I started actually choking. I had to stand up from my chair. Like, actually choking, for real. The thing is that once we give her her numbers, I have a lot to say, and so I was like, I should be more full of food because I'm a little hungry.
Oh, fair enough.
And instead, I've just ruined the episode.
Let's go.
Okay.
My goal is to make Ivy ruin the episode. So that's why Kinsey's skill numbers are hard. Is because she kisses girls, but the girls are Illyia, and also she's 11, and also she's the tanned girl created from Illyia and named Kuro.
I have a much simpler answer for you.
Oh, please.
We can just, like... If we just kind of, like... Don't... They don't control us. We can do better than them. We can just kind of we can just kind of be like... to some extent, I think we can just make the she kisses Illyia thing just a little less weird, just with the strength of our own willpower. And she's also just got, like, extreme, like, motherfucker, like, this motherfucker's gonna grow up and be the lead singer of Peach Kelly Pop. She's just got extremely high, like, young lesbian energy.
Yeah, okay.
And so I'm just gonna give her a 6.
I am comfortable doing that.
Uh-huh.
Given that she's smashing a guitar, given that this one's for the butches.
Uh-huh. Our first Kinsey 6 on the podcast.
My god, is it really?
Kuro from Prisma Illyia. Absolutely,
no,
yes.
sure. Did we not give Lily Kitahara a 6?
You had this realization earlier off the podcast and had the same reaction. Yeah, dude. I remember exactly what you said.
Incidentally heterosexual.
Uh-huh. You were like...
On account of the fact that she would seduce a man, I guess.
You said... Yeah, this was your exact line of reasoning.
My god.
Uh-huh. I remember this. Yeah, this is our first 6. If we're committed to it.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Unreal. Okay.
Uh-huh. We've also
Kuro.
had no zeros.
No zeros. No one who's heterosexual.
No hets. No full
hets.
6s. That's Kuro.
That's Kuro.
So, 3, 4, 6. I'm happy with that. It's... Everything about this feels weird, but it's fine. She can be a 3, 4, 6.
This was a manageable episode of the podcast.
This was a manageable episode. She was one of my favorite characters from that movie. So I'm happy.
And who was your favorite character?
It's kind of a toss-up. It's either... I know that you want me to say the, Nameless Girl who has 3 names. But my favorite character was actually either, like, the Thor girl who, when she dressed down from action mode, had the sickest fucking punk outfit on ever, with this fucking, like, flannel tied around her waist and shit. Motherfucker.
You're right.
Also, she might actually be my favorite, but, like, at minimum, if not sort of tied up there, honorable mention, fucking knife maid. Maid who's made of knives. And then just falls in the sludge, and they're like, we should watch out for her later, and she never reappears.
Yeah.
Forcing Ash to re-remember things about this movie. You fucking loved her real bad.
I did. I was gonna say my favorite is Fucked Up Fork Boy. He has an arc.
Damien from Damien.
Damien from Damien. You had things you were gonna say at the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm holding our rolling the next character hostage for this, so you do have to listen to all of this. Don't skip ahead, I'll kill you.
I personally have to.
I mean, Ash at minimum has to, because that just time is passing. I guess you could hang up the Discord call. But yeah, so a bunch of things have happened with the podcast recently, and also a lot of things are happening with the podcast over the summer. And so I have a long list of announcements and things to say, and so on and so forth. Some of these are very exciting. Maybe not all of them, but you won't know until I say them, so stick around. The first thing I'd like to do is actually shout out some listeners. I'd like to shout out specifically Burb, who sends us little co-host asks all the time, and it's very nice. Every time you do, Burb, Ash is like, I got one, and enrichment. It's my little bit of enrichment.
I do tell Ivy every single time.
Yeah. And you've been a very loyal listener of the show, and I just want to let you know that we appreciate you. We have other loyal listeners, but they don't interact with us via our social medias, so fuck them. But I would also like to shout out co-host user Awstriker, who picked up on a tiny little thing that we said in the Roja episode, which was us talking about the Kathy person who loves Kathy gender binary. which we just kind of mention offhand, but then you wrote us a nice little kind of like gender analysis of Project Moon Games about it, and it really made our day. We like then got into a voice call, and we like sorted all of the sinners into Kathy and people who love Kathy for like
4 hours.
For like 4 hours, yeah. And so that was great. I would also like to give a shout out to AO3 user A Wandering Person, who, first of all, hey bro, this was cool. Me talking about you commenting on our fanfic. And I also just like appreciate you letting me pitch you on the show via the extremely awkward medium of AO3 comments. And I am just very happy you're here. And I wanted to do this one because it's nice. But also it's just like whenever we get a little message on our various, and by various I mean I guess now 2 sort of show interactables, it makes us very happy. We tend to talk about them all day. We're a very small show, but I know there's a lot of I won't say numbers, but there's like the shocking number of people who listen to this show now, and just reach out. It makes us happy. It like is fun. I might talk about, hopefully eventually we get enough people reaching out that we can't even talk about all of them. But like, if you say something interesting, we might talk about it on the show, or at least you got a little reply from Ash. It's really nice. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. We, and I don't know if this is by accident, but we have anonymous asks turned on co-host, which means that you don't even need to have a co-host account to send us an ask on co-host. I would never shill for co-host because they're not paying me, but I would shill for the co-host asks feature, so please use it. It makes us very happy. Maybe identify yourself in your anonymous asks, and please don't do anything that would require Ash to turn that off. That would be very sad. Behave. You have to behave. But if you do, please, it makes us very happy when you reach out. So I just wanted to say that right off the bat. Now for the actual announcement. The actual announcement that is like less than halfway through this list of things that I have to say. Ash, we can talk about the fact that we're getting surgery, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. It would be really awkward if we couldn't, because in all the episodes I just recorded to release this summer, I specifically am like
exclusively
specifically am like Ash is recovering from surgery. But this summer
I'm getting a surgery in like a week and a half as of the release of this episode.
Yep. And then less than 4 weeks after that, I'm getting surgery.
It's hot surgery summer.
Yeah, this is hot surgery summer, as we've been referring to it internally. You may think, does this mean there's going to be less of the podcast? No, because we're fucked up, and so this means that there's going to be more of the podcast. It's just going to be kind of different. So this is the last episode that me and Ash are recording for a long time. This makes me kind of sad.
Yeah, like 2 months.
I'll get into it next, but Ash is recovering for the next, so there's going to be a sort of normal 2-week gap, and then after that, for 4 weeks, every single week, every single Sunday, there is going to be a new episode of a special mini-season of the podcast called the Great Gacha World Tour, in which I have on a bunch of special guests, and we talk about a different game each time, and they explain to me, like, why the game is good, why the art is interesting. They show me some of their favorite arts on the thing. I've recorded it all in advance because I'm busy prepping for surgery, and it's all extremely fun, and I hope you enjoy it. Also, Ash made some kick-ass fucking cover art for it.
Ivy told me I could do a mediocre job, and then I intended to do a mediocre job, and then I didn't, because I'm just
And then Ash made, like, the best thing I've ever seen. It kicks ass. You will see it in 2 weeks. And then after those 4 weeks, I am having surgery, and Ash said that they would keep things in the feed, but I don't know what they're doing. Are you still doing that? Do you want to talk about it?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay. Great.
I know that's not encouraging, but I might put things in the feed.
Great. And then there may be things in the feed that Ash makes. Maybe with our sister podcast host Pandora, you two were talking about this in August, question mark.
Yes.
They'll figure it out. I'll be recovering from surgeries. I don't fucking know. But anyway, that's what's happening this summer. I hope you're looking forward to the Great Gotcha World Tour. It's going to be a good time. Now I wanted to, next on my little list, I wanted to, direct my attention away from the listener and towards Ash. And I had a little speech that I sort of had to say. Don't say, "Oh no," like that. You're breaking my heart.
Sorry.
But I just wanted to say, not that I expect us to die. We're gonna be okay. But we've been doing this for like over 6 months, and like we're taking a big break. And so I just thought this was a good time to say, like, "Hey Ash, thanks for doing this podcast with me." For reasons that I won't say out loud, but this has been a really, really hard year for me. And it has genuinely meant a lot that you're like, willing to do this and put so much effort into it and be so excited about it. And it's like, has just been like, has really been holding me up, and also is just kind of a joy unto itself. One thing I've been thinking about lately is how I'm kind of stupid, actually. Like I don't have a lot of formal education, even in the types of art that people pay me thousands of dollars to make, let alone in visual art. And so I constantly have this anxiety, but I do this thing where I talk about like composition and stuff. And I have this constant anxiety that I'm going to look like a poser and look like I'm pretending to know what I'm talking about. I promise you that I don't really, I really just like to look at an image and think about like the colors and the way that like the lines like draw my eyes over the, this is just stuff that enriches me. I'm not trying to sound smart, but I'm always scared that I'll sound like a poser. But talking to you about art never makes me feel stupid, which is huge for me. Just kind of sad, maybe. But it never makes me feel stupid, whether I'm like trying to say something thoughtful or I'm just saying something stupid and silly. It just feels really nice. I care about you a lot. I say a lot how, dear listener, not that I'm sad that you're here, thank you for being here, but I say a lot that I mostly just do this podcast for you. And I know that, like, you're gonna maybe have sort of a hard surgery recovery. And so the Great Gotcha World Tour is really just because I really wanted you to have a nice little thing to look forward to each week as you recover. And so I hope you like it. I hope it doesn't suck. I really do this all for you, and I've been thinking about that because I've been doing a bunch of extra work for you. And I hope you like it. It's really, again, I've been having a hard year. It's really hard to think about the future, just kind of in general. But the thing that this, like, podcast has given me is that, like, if nothing else, I always have, within the next 2 weeks, if nothing else, me and Ash are gonna sit down and record a little episode of Soulmates. And that makes me very happy. And I especially can't think about the future. Sorry, back up. I have little sort of cliff notes for this speech. And so it makes me sad that we're not going to be able to do this for a while. It's going to feel very weird. Along with all of the other things that are going to feel very weird. And it's really hard for me to think about the future, especially sort of right now. I don't know what surgery recovery is going to be like, or how I'm gonna like feel in my body during and after it. It might be kind of bad, but if nothing else, I know that like, once both of us are recovered and we're like in less pain, which will be great, and we can both sit up in a chair again. Then, the first Thursday after all of that is true,
Oh my god, it's gonna be so nice.
We get to sit down and record an episode of Soulmates, and that
I'm really excited about it.
that's really getting me through it, which feels silly. But it is good to have something like that in my life. So I just wanted to say thank you. It's my little speech. I genuinely cried. I hope I pulled on your heartstrings. You don't have to say anything, but you can.
I'm holding it together. We're gonna, hang out after this, so I have to keep it together.
Yeah, that's true. Dear listener, we are just friends. We hang out all the time, almost every night. So, it's not like I'm not gonna see Ash for 10 weeks, but it's, dramatic effect. Should I move on?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, dear listener, now that I've tugged on your heartstrings and you feel all soft and mushy, I'd just like to remind you, of all the various ways that you can support the show. Fucking listen, surgery in the States is very expensive, and no amount of little Ko-Fi donations are going to really help with that. But, I'm just gonna generally encourage people to just go to Ash's Ko-Fi, Asherlark, and, just fucking, just throw him $5 or $10 just to buy, a little snack, or
I will use
a little
that money
video game.
to buy a little snack or a little video game, almost certainly. This is my buying little treats for myself money, which I'm currently avoiding doing.
Yeah, it sucks. It makes me very sad that Ash is avoiding this. So go throw him some. Every time I say you can find him on at Asherlark on Ko-Fi. Go consider throwing him a little bit of snack money. That would be great. It kind of feels sucky to pitch both of these at once, but also you can support the show at my Ko-Fi at Ivy Fox Art. Both
of these will make me equally happy.
I have less medical expenses thanks to Ontario provincial healthcare.
Let's go.
But I do have a lot of fucking post-surgical recovery expenses because I'm disabled, and also just because recovering from surgery is expensive. And also, I pay for all of the hosting costs for this podcast. It's not very much. To pull back the curtain, it's only $15 a month, which is steep for a normal subscription, but I'm happy to pay it. But
this is yet another way in which Ivy does all the work for this podcast and I run the social media.
Yeah. Well, it's your podcast. We gotta keep you in good shape.
It's my podcast.
But listen, what I'm about to say is gonna make me sound like a fucking like a charity telemarathon host. But if just 3 listeners went to my Ko-Fi and just threw me $15, that would pay for all of our hosting costs through both of our surgeries and both of our recoveries, more or less. And that would just be a little bit of a weight off my shoulders, which would be really nice because my friend's about to get surgery, then I'm about to get surgery, and I'm very stressed. And so that would be nice.
This is very freaky for both of us.
And also, however, listen, if you can't or just don't want to, I know how it is, it's fine, support us with money, you can also just, fucking, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I hear this is good for the algorithm. You probably have an Apple account because you wanted to watch a season of Ted Lasso. But, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and just, if you like the show, fucking tell your friends. Put it on your fucking social media. Put your favorite episode up there.
I'd be so happy if you told a friend.
Fucking, go talk about the podcast in, spaces that talk about these things, whether it's like these specific games we cover, including all of the extra games we're going to cover in the Great Gacha World Tour.
Exactly.
Even just
Listen,
like
when Ivy puts out all of the Great Gacha World Tour episodes, every time there's a game that you know somebody who plays it, I need you to go and tell them, hey, you should listen to this podcast. They did an episode on that game you like. And then if you like it, you should listen to the rest of this podcast and get immersed in the world of talking about art. And also meet that other guy who's not on the podcast right now.
I do introduce you every single episode.
That's really
Fun little
funny.
bit. I'm like, not joining me as always is Ash. Good bit.
It was busy.
Not to spoil too much. But yeah, I don't know. Tell your friends, post about it places, even like places that just talk about art, or places that just talk about like fucking anime and video games, or places that talk about podcasts. You know, it would be really nice. We are already rapidly growing, which is kind of freaking me out, but it makes me very happy. And you know, hey, I'm guilting you. We're having a really hard time. I'm crying. Support us. Idiot.
Dumbass.
But no, thank you for being here. That's it. That's all the little things I had to say. Anything to add?
I just gave you a little clap that probably didn't come through on Discord.
Oh, thank you.
For getting through all of the things. This is a good podcast. I don't have anything prepared, but this is a good podcast, and I'm very happy to be making it. And so it would make me happy if more people listen to it and send me asks on the co-host asks feature.
Please, co-host asks feature.
It genuinely kind of makes my day. I got to do like Burb sent me, and then our new friend who talks about the Kathy person who.
Oh my god! Did we get another
dynamic.
ask from them?
No.
Oh,
But
okay.
they both sent me things that I got to respond to in a little sort of informal, short form analysis way, and that was really, really fun for me, because this is shocking. I kind of do this all the time outside of this podcast. Part of the reason we do this podcast is because both of us are just kind of people who like to look at art and think about it, whether that be in sort of a visual art analysis way or in sort of a narrative analysis way. We like to look at art and we like to talk about it, and it's very enriching for us and for me. And so it makes me very happy when people like to engage with that. And I hope that you like the podcast and aren't somebody I know who's listening to it out of obligation. If you are, don't stop. That's all I got.
Yeah. Great. This random button makes me so anxious.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't deal with it.
Do you want me to hit it?
Oh my god. I guess I do all the work.
Yeah. I can do this
Sure.
for you.
Okay, thank you. Very kind.
This is the episode where we're nice to each other.
2 weeks out from surgery, and this guy's still so generous.
Soulmates, but we're nice now.
Soulmates, but we're nice now.
Okay. I guess I shouldn't ask you if you're ready, but are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh my god,
Okay.
we have to hang on to this for like fucking 3 months. It's so much.
I know.
Like
Listen,
10 weeks minimum.
I'm gonna write this one down.
I'm not gonna forget.
That's how much.
I'm not gonna forget because I'm gonna be thinking about it every single fucking day.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna write it down because I'm anxious. But I appreciate that. Here we go.
Here we go.
I'm not looking at the webpage.
I bet it's gonna give us a dupe first.
Oh my god! I don't need to write this one down.
Because you're gonna be thinking about it every
I'm
single
gonna be
day.
thinking about it every day.
Every day.
Every day. It is gonna get me through until we can come and reconvene. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Listeners, to pull back the curtain, it's a good one.
To pull back the curtain, it's a one that we are personally obsessed with already, which is a great indicator of a good episode of this show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Well?
my fucking god. Well,
Ivy will see you soon. I might see you after that, or not. I'll figure something out.
you'll figure
And
something
then
out.
I guess we'll reconvene in quite some time. Don't forget about us.
There'll be things in the feed. It'll be okay.
There'll be things in the feed.
Bye.
Bye.
終わった。なんか疲れたな。イリア、お腹減った。